Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. How's it going today? So, oh my goodness, that was a blooper. Drop the dowsing rod. Usually I would just restart the video, but I'm like, why? You get to see bloopers every once in a while. So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to be talking about the big blundering bill, which was a good name that people are giving it. Obviously, the fact that it's so manipulative that they call it the big beautiful bill, I just can't even. I can't even. I don't care which party would use that term. It's so manipulative. You know what I mean? Which is why I can't use it. But some of you guys had some very interesting names. So Big Blundering Bill came from one of you. Big Betrayal Bill, Big Ugly Bill, Big Bullshit Bill. That's the one we should really use, Big Bullshit Bill. And Big Bloated Bill, right? So good names, you guys. Good names. So first we're going to ask the lead team collective some follow-up questions from the video that we did on July 3rd regarding the election integrity. Okay, if you haven't watched that, it's pretty popular, and I was super happy to have asked the spirit guides about that. So I will post that video right here in the corner. At the end of this video, it'll pop up. Okay. So, and then we did we did the Founding Fathers this weekend. So there's two Founding Father videos I'll put here and here. Really, really interesting. Some good messages for us. Okay. I'm super glad that it doesn't appear to have been nothing too chaotic happening over July 4th and 5th. I know is the flooding situation in Texas, and but I don't know of others. I really haven't seen anything that was maybe what I kind of expected to happen. So really good, really good. Because I think the SGs have been using the word violence for a couple weeks, and so I think it's always just important to keep an open mind about it and just, stay as safe as possible. But, we have to live our lives. You know what I'm saying? So I know for me, I was not in the mood to celebrate July 4th. I don't really like the fact that, well, why would I celebrate? For me, I just felt like, why would I celebrate July 4th if all citizens don't feel safe to celebrate July 4th, right? Independence. So freedom, independence. So I don't know. We hung out at the pool for a couple hours, went to the gym, didn't go to fireworks or anything like that. I just wasn't in the mood for it. I'm like, I don't know, just didn't feel appropriate. So for me, that's no judgment on anybody else. So okay, so we're going to do a follow-up on that, July 3rd questions. And then we've got some questions about the big bullshit bill. And I think some of them came from the community. And then we also generated some AI questions. I asked AI to go look out to the bill and come back with some interesting questions. And then, of course, my sister kind of played with them a little bit and put them in a good order. So, okay, so let's go ahead. If you're new here, welcome. So glad you found us. This is a community of lightworkers, empaths, starseeds, however you want to, those who are exploring their spirituality in different ways. There's not one way to look at spirituality here. So everybody, we're all trying to remain open-minded to different ideas, different perspectives, and all that kind of stuff. So if that's interesting to you, then it would be awesome if you'd subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because it would really help in the algorithm and help support our channel. And we do have a playlist I'll pop up right here called Start Here if you're new and you wanted to dive in a little bit. Okay. All right, and find out like what exactly I'm doing here, and we have some introductory videos on using dowsing rods and stuff and such. So, okay, I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, and the lead team collective, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel, my channel, and your channel, this community, the lead team collective, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, you guys. Haven't talked to my team actually for a couple days. I took a couple days off. How you guys doing? Good. Awesome. Thank you, as always, for all your love and support and guidance. If you haven't thanked your team today, now would be a good time. And thank you to the Lead Team Collective. So the Lead, L-E-A-D, Team Collective, LTC, is what all of our spirit guides here in this community. If you found yourself here, then your spirit guides are a part of that collective. And that's what they gave, that's the name they gave themselves. So probably because we were calling them spirit teams. And they want to be called Lead Team. They're leading us with our permission, of course. So thank you, Lead Team Collective. We appreciate it. So talking to my guides real quick, can you look at the questions in front of me? Thank you. Do you think these questions are appropriate to be answered by the lead team? Yes? Okay. All right. Let's call in the lead team then. Thank you very much. All right. Hello, lead team. Thank you for all your love, guidance, and support for all of the community, each of us. So if you guys, now is again this time to say thank you to them and ask if there's anything you want to ask them about for guidance and support and love in your life and for society. Now is a great time to do it since they're kind of hovering around at this point. Okay, so you guys, lead team, we've got some questions regarding the video that we did on the election integrity, as well as some big bullshit. My sister should not have put the word bullshit in there because I do like a good swear word every once in a while. So the big bullshit bill. Do you have any reservations answering those for us? No. Okay, great. As always, if there's anything that's not in our highest and best interest to know, would you please refrain from answering? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so some follow-up questions from July 3rd video on how the election could have been manipulated. So number one, were any House of Representative races altered? They're already saying yes, altered in the same manner as the 2024 POTUS election? Yes. Okay. Were any Senate races also altered in the same way as the 2024 POTUS election? Yes. Okay, let's not assume it was just one way. Were they altered in either direction? No. Okay. Were they altered in favor of red? Yes. Were they altered in favor of blue? No. Okay. Has the Democratic Party ever manipulated the way votes are run in this country? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to do that for equal balance, you guys. I don't think there's one party is completely, I think they're just going to have to get a handle on the entire thing. So neither party can do these games, so that nobody on either side feels that something wasn't right. Okay. So I was just watching some guy who was sharing his story about being at the Capitol on January 6th. Okay. Because I don't often get to see the flip side of things. So I'm trying to do that. If I'm going to think about any of this, I want to make sure I'm getting a full picture and not just trusting what things I normally would listen to. And so, hang on a sec, I gotta take a little sip. So he was talking about his experience and he was supposed to speak there or whatever. And he was basically saying that he was just, how he was describing his experience is not the way that we describe when you listen to just left-wing things, okay? So it just, he basically was saying that there was, all they thought they were going there for, like the whole group of them, was not to do what we think happened, like an insurrection, because that's a word. And I'm not saying I don't know the truth. Nobody really knows the truth, except for maybe people who were there, and I don't know. It's so hard to know, right? Which is really part of my disgruntledness is like it's so hard to have an opinion about anything actually because you don't really know what the truth is anymore. And I'm not even sure we ever did, because what is truth, right? There's so much gray, which is what I say exactly here in the channel when we're talking to the spirit guides. So, and everybody has their a million trillion ways of approaching the world because of how we've seen it. We've all have a million different experiences that we bring to the world, right? And how our perceptions are. Anyway, so he said the whole point was to ask for Congress to delay the signing of the validation of the votes or whatever they call it for 10 days. Because they wanted to do they had to delay the certification, I guess. So they wanted to just do recounts in the states. I don't think that's unreasonable, only because that's what we're talking about right here ourselves now. So it's so weird to me, like listening to this person talk. And I'll post the video below because I'm kind of curious to see, are you open to listening to it? And I think I just want to come at this from a citizen perspective, not a party perspective, okay? Because the more I listen to like both sides, the more I start to feel that the whole thing is just manipulated in different ways. Now, is there more corruption on one side than the other? Yeah, I think so. I'm not blind to that. But I just want to be careful that I'm not having this like, I'm not contributing to the falsehoods or whatever. You know what I mean? So I will post that video below. But so it's basically what we're saying now. The language he's using is like exactly the same, which just cracks me up. It just kind of cracks me up. So it doesn't crack me up. It makes me bewildered. It makes me wonder. It makes me question. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Were multiple parties trying to steal the election, not realizing the other party also was? Oh, yes, good question. See, I just think we need to be open to that. Were multiple parties trying to steal the election, not realizing the other party was? If yes, both Thiel and Musk? Yes. Okay. So what we mean by parties then, multiple parties, is we mean multiple people, not parties as in Democrat and Republican. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So we're multiple people trying to steal the election, not realizing the other people were too? Yes. Okay. So like both Thiel and Musk, were they doing that separately? No. Okay. Because we're trying to figure out why the results were so blatantly clear so obviously clear that something weird happened, right? They're saying yes. So maybe that's a question for the pendulum. That might be a really interesting conversation for the pendulum about just how that whole thing went down. I don't know. Like why exactly? Why did they leave it so blatant? Probably because they just knew we would. Part of me feels like, and sorry, I'm doing so much commentary here, but no, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Part of me feels like they knew that because the left has always been like, well, we're not going to say things are that the election is illegitimate, that our voting system isn't accurate, and we don't want to be like them. There's a lot of people who said that. People in my life said it. It's like we didn't have permission to question. And they even said that in the Common Coalition report. So, and it's true. Psychologically, that was like psychological warfare. Psychologically, we didn't have permission to do it because we didn't want to be like them, And the citizens, again, we have to go back to what the citizens want. If the citizens of any election call for a recount, they should get it. If the citizens call for it. So the problem is we don't trust the people who are leading the citizens. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just interesting. You know, the only reason I'm questioning all this is because I'm starting to question how much energy I want to put into any of it. Because it's like, well, why would I keep putting energy into something when I truly don't know, you know, what the hell is going on? You just don't know. It's one thing if it's just interesting and you want to put energy into it, but maybe you have other things you want to do with your life instead of riding the ups and downs of this debacle, you know, of just politics in general, you know. I don't know. Okay. Were any of Starlink's satellites blown up after the election? Interesting. Yes. If yes, were these blown up intentionally? Oh, yes. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Let me just make sure. I actually haven't done the law of challenge for a little bit. And let me just do that real quick. So I close, what was the law of challenge again? In the name, I'm like, what is it? In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. Okay, thank you. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Okay, thank you. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? And I just do pause here for a minute. I want to just make sure they're doing a clear yes on the third and not going to switch. See how they're not moving that at all? You guys know that a lot of times the energy moves the other one. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I feel comfortable with that. Now, a lot of people have asked, like, what do you do if you get a no? I've only gotten a no once, okay? So they said no. And I don't really feel like, I am not, like, I personally, and that doesn't mean it's not true, but I personally choose not to feel like that's trickster energy or, which, it's just, I just don't want to go there, like they're trying to trick me. But it is like a lower vibrational energy, I would say, if they say no. Okay. So, and I don't know why they're here. They could be like hanging on to me, like just feeding off my energy or something like that because it feels good. A lower vibrational energy might be in my space, just like it might be in your space, because it feels good to them to be in your energy, you know, in your energetic field, especially if they have a lower energy than you do. Now, I don't have any proof of that. It's just stuff that I've heard people say. But what I do and what I've been taught, and again, there might be other people here who have other things that they do. So please offer in the comments so that people who are wondering what to do if they get a no, please offer what you would do in that situation. Because remember, there's lots of gray. This isn't a right or wrong thing. This is just what I do. Okay. So I will basically say that that I demand that they leave my space, that they do not talk to me through the dowsing rods, and that they go, directly to the light and not attached to anything else, or go into anybody else's space. That's what I usually do if there's something like if I find out, if they tell me there's some like an entity kind of drawing on my energy, and that usually does the trick. So that's what I only did that one time when the energy said no, that they're not of the highest, and I just said, well, you're not welcome here. I'm sorry. You're just not welcome here. So I'm expecting that you will leave right now, and then you can ask Archangel Michael to escort that energy away, and in love and peace. You can just do it with kindness, because it's just another spirit, it's another energy, but it's not what you're expecting to be communicating with. So I don't know. Does that help? Let me know, and then other people, please offer what you do. Okay. Okay, so let's get on to this big blundering, betrayal, ugly, bullshit, bloated bill. Okay? All right, so let's find out about this. Is the bill primarily, is the bill's primary reason for the feud between Trump and Elon? Yes. Okay. With the way the bill stands now, will it add trillions to the already massive debt or deficit? Yes. Is one purpose of the bill due to prevent Trump's 2017 tax cuts from ending? Yes. If yes, are the beneficiaries of these tax cuts mainly business owners? Yes. Okay. Does the bill introduce new complexities and loopholes rather than simplifying the tax code? Yes. Are the overall goals of the bill more aligned with specific political or economic agendas than the broader interests of all Americans? Yes. Now, I did hear today that the Medicaid changes are not set to go into effect until 2028 or 2020. I think it was after the midterms. So people are not going to see things right away, so that they can go ahead after the midterms. If they lose, they can go ahead then and blame you know who, the other party, for those changes. Now it does amaze me that the other party wouldn't be able to make those changes if they wanted to, but it all depends on if they hold the House, if they hold the Senate. I guess it all depends. But aren't you guys just like, it's a little ridiculous. Does anything really ever get done? And I was watching this video of an American citizen who lives in China. Okay, she's teaching in China. She's doing some YouTube on, just living in China. And she was just talking, I mean, everything is so clean. She's African American woman. She feels extremely safe. She hasn't experienced any racism there. And mostly, it's just that she's so far away from home. And I think that's, but she is learning Mandarin. And she's living in a high rise in a main city. And it costs like $500 a month to rent a 3-bedroom apartment. And she gets a $250 subsidy from her job. She's teaching at the university there. I think what did she say she was teaching? I'll post her video below if you wanna. I don't know. It's just interesting to me because the U.S. does not have its shit together. We do not have our shit together. We should have high rail trains. We should have, really efficient transportation for everybody. But it's just, we should have good education for everybody. We just don't have our shit together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know I know I sound like I'm all down, which I'm really not. I'm just trying to understand what it is that I have valued all my life, and it does. And maybe that's why a lot of us are feeling quite disappointed, because it's not just one side. It's like the whole thing. The whole thing is, you feel like it's a little bit of it's a game that they've been playing for a long time, and I've been living my life doing a job that I enjoyed, but, you just kind of wonder. You just kind of wonder these things. Okay, so has Trump actually read any of the bill? Yes, he has. Okay. Does he actually understand it? Yes. Well, the bill is like what? I don't know how many pages. It took him 15 hours to read it. So wasn't it 900 pages? Or maybe that was a different document. So has he read the entire bill? No. Okay. Does he just know the gist of what's in the bill? Yes. Are there things in the bill that they put in to manipulate Trump? Yes. And so there's things in there that he doesn't realize that he would disagree with if he did? Yes. Okay. Does this always happen? Like no matter who's the president is? Yes. I mean, why does that have to be so extensive? And who wrote that whole thing? Who writes it? Okay. Did Trump create this bill? Oh, here we go. I guess who wrote it? No. Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, there's just no way. Like, there's no way he would write. I mean, it's not his. He's a leader. He's not like just like, well, I mean, I did go into AI and ask for some of these questions to be pulled, but my sister is the creator of these questions that she pulls from you guys. We actually ask the community. So it's just the same way. Like I'm the facilitator and the leader of this channel, and then Trump is the same way, but he doesn't. Yeah, and I have an opinion, and I share the direction, and he would do the same thing, but he is not the creator. I mean, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that's legalities. It's probably all legalities. The question is how long? I mean, they would have had to have written this bill like a long time ago, I think. So did the Heritage Foundation with their lawyers create this bill? Yes. Okay. Has this bill been written for quite a while? Yes. I mean, longer than 2025? Yes. Okay. When the Trump administration leaves office, is there a possibility the bill will be disqualified? Yes. Well, it would almost have to be. If they do find him disqualified from the office, then anything he did would have to be disqualified, I would think. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, we've got 10 more questions. This is interesting. All right. Does this bill prioritize the well-being of the most vulnerable in society? No. Does the bill encourage compassion towards those in need? No. I have a feeling this is, we're going to be seeing a lot of no's right here. Does this bill align with the principle of stewardship over shared resources? No. Does the bill promote unity within the nation? I don't know. We're all going to... No. Marcia, I think we might end up feeling a little depressed after this line of questioning. Especially because this is going to be the last. Oh, no! All right. That's okay. Sorry, you guys. I just have a feeling they're going to say no to all of these, but tell us the truth, you guys, okay? LTC? Yes? Okay. Does this bill contribute to a more equitable distribution of wealth? Oh, no. Does the bill demonstrate care for future generations? No. Does the bill promote sustainable practices for the long term? No. Does the bill uphold the value of human life in all its stages? No. Does the bill embody principles of fairness and integrity? No. Does the bill contribute to a world where we can all thrive? Okay, Marcia, what the hell? She's usually pretty good. I mean, she's always very good about leaving something funny at the end. Oh no. Okay. Well, we need to end on a very positive note. So you guys, are you 100% certain? 100%. So don't say it unless you are. Are you 100% certain that this bill will be reversed in many of the ways that is not for the best and highest of all? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so all of those things that we just listed off, which were not very positive, do we need to be concerned about those? Like, should we be concerned about how this bill is going to be incorporated into our daily lives, even for the most vulnerable? No. Okay. And so would you still suggest that we take action when we feel moved to take action, making phone calls, sending postcards, whatever, emails? Yes. But in order to keep our vibrations high, Do you want us to be sitting in the space of this negativity about the bill? No. Okay. Okay. So you guys, I'm going to post down below a link to the Common Coalition report. Okay, I put this in our weekly email last week. Okay, so if you haven't signed up for the email, that our newsletter, you would right here. If you're not getting it, sometimes I see comments because people aren't getting it. You do have to be careful about what email you use and what name you use. If you don't put like a normal full name, like not a full name, but your first name. Like if my name is Karen and I just put K, like just a K, the system might boot you out because it might just automatically unsubscribe you because it wonders if it's spam. So that's the problem with that. So I am going to put a link to the resources that I put in the email last week down below. Okay. I'm hoping, this is like a call to action right now. I'm hoping that so many of us will look at that information, and if you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable, okay, there is a link that tells you who to call in each state, okay? And you can then, it's an attorney general, senators. I think the attorney general is the one for the smart elections or true alliance, election truth alliance. Okay, for those, we need people calling their attorney generals and requesting that they look at the data. Just look at the data. Okay, so that's all you have to do is call. And actually, the information I'm going to provide gives hints on how, if you're going to write an email, how to do it, and like what the email should say and all that. So pay attention to that, because if they get like 8,000 emails, they might just dump the whole thing. But it's a little bit, they do have some directions on how to do that. Okay. So I'm going to put all the links that I have right now. And if we could all take one action next week for the Truth Alliance, the Election Truth Alliance information, then that would be amazing, right? If there was 10,000 people who watched this video until the end, hopefully you did, because some people click off before then, but if we could all take one action, that would be 10,000 people doing something to help the common, or I get there's a whole bunch of, there's three different, there's the smart election group, there's Common Coalition, and there's I believe this is how it's working, and the Election Truth Alliance, which we have people in our community who are a part of that, who are volunteering as part of that. So yeah, so whatever you're called to do, if we could all just make one little step. And you know what, here's the thing, you guys, if all the attorney generals do it in good faith, and they don't find anything, then they don't find anything, but at least we ask them to. At least hopefully they take a look at it, okay? But they're not going to take a look at it unless we, the people, ask them to do it. So let's just, there's nothing wrong with them looking at it, all right? And then, it doesn't mean we sound like them or we're being conspiracy theorists or anything like that, okay? We're just asking them to take a look, all right? Okay, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.